Every truck driver deserves a moment in the spotlight, and we give it to them. We hope you'll be entertained by these interviews and conversations and songs. Who knows? We might even help you solve a problem or get a fresh perspective on your life with our trucker wisdom. You found actual truckers, folks. Oh yeah. AT is brought to you by AT Transportation. I wanted to quickly highlight and say thanks to the guys who keep our trucks running. There's Tyler, there's Randy, there's Jared in there somewhere, and this is Nathan. He owns and runs the shop. I'm just messing. Here they are. Guys, we can't hardly go nowhere without you, so we appreciate all you do, and I hope you drivers out there are showing some appreciation and love for your mechanics. We really ought to treat everybody at our company well. Welcome back to the channel where we don't just talk about the trucking industry. No, we talk to actual truckers. My name's Rob Biagi, I'm your host. Yes, I am getting over an illness, thank you for noticing. And yes, I did get a brand new truck this week, woohoo! So beautiful you are, girl. Come on guys, let's go see who's out there. How long you been driving for? How'd you get started? Whose idea was it? Who kind of helped you? How'd you get here?
Really, it is a long history, starting with that issue. Like, I have started driving about since 2017. It was just an idea that came up from my older brother. So I'm saying to him, thank you, bro, you make my day.
We are at a truck stop in Tennessee, and I just met this guy, Tim. Tim, thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
The show. It's great to meet you. You got quite a story. I can't wait for everybody to hear what you got to say. How did you get started? Was there somebody that suggested that you drive a truck? Was it a family thing? How'd you get going with the trucking business?
When I was probably only a few years old, my next door neighbor was an owner-operator. And I used to get excited because he'd be gone for a couple weeks at a time. So as soon as I'd hear his truck come down the street or whatever, I'd run outside, run over to his driveway and just wait for him to come home. And I had to climb up in his truck before he even had a chance to go inside the house to see his wife.
This is Jason. Jason, thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
You too, bud.
Nice to meet you. Jason, how long you been driving for? How'd you get started? How'd the whole thing, did somebody recommend it to you, or did you grow up doing it?
I'm third generation. My papa, my dad drove, my uncles, all my uncles drove. Both sides of the family, like my mom and dad's family, both. You know, her dad drove, my grandma drove back in the day.
Your grandma drove?
My grandma drove, used to
wow.
drive.
That's cool. A lot of guys I talk to are not as positive as you are about truck driving. They're trying to discourage their sons from doing it. They're trying to say, I'd rather you do anything else than drive a truck, but you're positive about it. I love that.
Yeah, it is a good job, really.
Me too.
Like enjoying one, like the only thing it has is just like, if you're a family man, you're gonna be away from your family for at least some days.
Yeah.
And I would rather advise to anyone that is my friend to do this job.
Nice. Don't be jealous of truckers. Oh, it's true, our life's pretty great. The crystal blue skies, the sun in our eyes, just give me that old interstate. Truckers, we're talented drivers and singers. We smell kinda rough, but we bring you your stuff, so wave at us with all your fingers. We smell kinda rough, but we bring you your stuff, so wave at us with all your fingers. You told me that your mom is a sweetheart lady to you.
Yeah,
if she happens to see this video, what do you want to say to her? What's your message to your mom?
I'm saying to her, I love you, dear mom. I know like the circumstance forced us to be away from each other, but you're still in my heart and I won't forget you. God bless you. I cannot pay you back, but the plan is to show you that I understand, dear mom. I love you, mom, and I will love you forever.
What do you bring that kind of maybe nobody else brings the same way?
I don't know. I think, well, I don't want to go pat myself on the back, but I'm always the guy that can't tell like whoever I'm working for no.
Oh.
Like I'm like the go-to guy.
Are you?
I actually had a Superman tattoo put on because just to be spiteful towards some guy that I used to work with. He's like, oh, this guy doesn't turn anything down. He's always, I said, yeah, because I want to make money. I got a family to feed.
That's right.
He's like, okay, Superman. I'm like, you know, that gives me an idea. You know what I'm doing after work today?
That's great. Dad, what did you learn by watching your dad when you were growing up?
What not to do,
Really?
what to do.
Yeah, okay, kind of both. All right.
Just being around my dad, you know. I mean, I still remember riding around in a 74 Peterbilt cab over, you know, in a jump seat in Michigan on the back roads with no air ride seats. And, you know, he'd bounce me all over that truck. You know, you can learn a lot from in a jump seat. You know, and I had 1,000,000 miles in a jump seat before I even stepped in, you know, drove a truck.
Yeah.
So you said you're gone for 3 weeks?
Yeah, for 3 weeks.
Now, we were talking earlier and you said you've got family.
Yeah, I
You
do
got
have family here.
a wife and 4 daughters?
Yes, I do have them
Okay,
here.
now how do they do with you being gone that long?
Really, I'm not out, just gone out for no reason. I'm gone out for working for them and finding them about what human basic need they needed. So that's why they know me. The reason that's why I'm out.
There are misconceptions about truckers. When we look at you, we maybe don't think trucker. You got some fitness going on. What's your routine? You got any protein powder suggestions for us? What do you got? What do you got?
Besides genetics and my dad forcing me to go to the gym when I was like 19 or 20, during the week, I don't eat food that comes out of those buildings. My wife sends me with my food for the entire week at a time. So if I'm gone 5 nights like I normally am, I have 5 containers that are in my truck in my refrigerator. And it's all real food.
Nice.
So, oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. If it wasn't for her, I would not look like this. I would look like a disaster.
So if she's watching this right now, what do you want to say to her?
Thank you for keeping me from getting fat.
And a trucker life, man, it's hard. We'll get back to these 3 guys in just a second, but I want to say thank you to our subscribers. Thank you guys, the early adopters. You're with us from the beginning and we're excited to see where things go, so thank you. Truck drivers have long been ignored, just underappreciated. It's been so fun to hear their stories, their lives, their hearts. And how about Ali's message to his dear mom? Sweet. I had a couple great comments from the previous video. Matt Chris said, it's great to have a video highlighting truckers. We never get to hear their stories or hear about the families they leave behind. Great job and mad respect for all the truckers. Steve Sosinski said, excellent channel to highlight the hardworking men and women of the trucking industry. They are the heartbeat of America. Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Matt. What do you want me to ask drivers in future episodes? What do you want to know about trucking or the trucker life? Be sure you post a comment here, or you can tag us on Instagram at Actual Truckers using hashtag Actual Truckers, and we will repost it over there. I've always randomly just struck up conversations with people I meet. I just love people and I'm fascinated by them, but I can't ever remember meeting a more grounded, content, salt of the earth group of people than these truck drivers. I've been so surprised and impressed. So where do you think the perspective they seem to have comes from? But thank you so much for your support of this channel. It is growing, we're off to a good start, but we depend on you. Everyone who subscribes, clicks the notification bell, clicks that little thumbs up button to like the video, shares the video. Those things fire up the YouTube algorithm and then they start recommending the channel to more and more people and it can really take off. So thanks in advance for doing all that. And thank you to AT Transportation for making these videos possible. As far as you drivers out there possibly driving for AT, that's up to you, but my experience with AT has been really good. As many miles as I want. My wife and I are very happy with the pay and the schedule. Because of where I live, I've talked about how much home time I get. And at age 57, you can count me among those who are satisfied. The company you drive for makes a big difference, and AT's owner is a driver himself, and his family operates the business. You don't get any more unity and understanding and heart than that. And thanks again to all of you, and let's get back to the interviews. Ali, every father has kind of a hope, a wish for his children. You've got 4 daughters?
Yes.
Man, as a father, what are your hopes, dreams, wishes for your daughters?
I'm really wishing for them to be about someone that can help the community, like about nurses, doctors, so to be a useful people for the family, for the society. That is what my hope is.
Who you got back home that cares about you, that's excited? You got your wife, you have kids of your own. What's your family situation on a larger scale?
I have a daughter of my own. She's 27. She's a hairdresser. So she's got her own little salon set up, so she's doing good with that. She's got 2 kids. And then I have a soon-to-be 18-year-old stepson who is awesome. It's like one of those kids that where he's like too good, you're like, it's gonna go bad soon, right? But no. I come home and I mean, I've never had a kid tell me that he loves me as much as my stepson does. That's awesome. You know, and he tells me everything that's going on in his life, and that's the openness that he has with me. That's priceless. It really is.
I'd have to say when my dad passed away, it was pretty rough, you know, because I mean, we both were truck drivers. You know, he'd been driving a long time. You know, he was my go-to, you know, hey Dad, you know, what do I do? And it was gone, you know, and he died at 52.
Oh man,
and,
how old were you then?
I was 27.
Oh man.
You know,
there's never a good time to lose your dad.
No.
Especially somebody that you grew up so close to.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was third generation. I hadn't been driving 6 years, 7 years, you know, right around there. And what killed me about it the most was, you know, he died in March, and my son was born in August. So he never got to know, you know, and, but that, I mean, that's life, you know. You
I'm
go
so
on.
sorry about that, man. How did he pass?
He had cancer.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, man.
So I mean,
I'm so sorry.
he
to hear
worked
that.
right up till the last. I had to go get him, you know, and he called and said he had a headache. And, you know, come get me. I can't see, you know. So I had to go. You know, I was home at the house Friday night. I went up there and got his truck and drove it in, and you know that's when. So I mean, he worked to his last day, you know, and they said you only got a few months to live, and he lived way longer than what they said. So he fought it to the end.
Well, Ali, thank you again so much. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming on the show. I'm glad things have gone well for you with your company driver career and then buying your own truck.
Yeah.
That's really cool. A lot of people that watch this channel want to do that.
Okay, thank you, bro. I appreciate you a lot.
Again, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
We'll see you down the road.
Yes, sir.
Be safe.
Will do.
Thanks, Jason, for coming on.
Yeah, man.
Again, appreciate it. You've got great stories, man. I love it. Growing up in the jump seat, I love it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to Ali, to Tim, and to Jason. As always, I've got much more footage from all of them that you'll see in the future on YouTube Shorts, on Instagram, and on the AT Transportation Facebook page. Outtakes are coming right up. Thanks for watching episode 2 of Actual Truckers. I'm Rob Biagi, and it's time for me to head on home. I'll see you in the next video. See ya. Do you sing at all? You do!
No.
You do!
No, I cannot say.
Come
really.
on, this guy sings, man. Don't hold back on me.
Really? Like I
He's
sing
going,
with-
really?
I just think about I sing with Somali song, but like,
Somali songs.
Yeah.
What do they sound like?
Aroortii
Aruti,
qaybisay fallaaraha
Rebi Saya Faraha.
ama qaansa roobaad.
Am I doing all right?
Yeah, you're doing good.
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I have never sung in Somali before.
Yeah.